But it looks like the Dems are also worried as they call in the big guns. President Biden, Vice President Kamala Harris, former President Obama, all set to barnstorm the Keystone State next week. President Obama also released a rare campaign ad.
In Pennsylvania, you've got some important choices to make this year. So when the fate of our democracy and a woman's right to choose are on the line, vote Democrat on November 8th.
Wow, you think the president would be doing that? Power panel Mercedes Schlapp, former Trump advisor for strategic communications, and Kevin Walling, former Biden campaign surrogate. Great to see you both. Mercedes, I'll come to you first. I had mentioned earlier, and this is one exception, Biden's going primarily to blue safe states to make appearances, which is really a head scratcher because he can't help anybody if they already hold the seats.
Well, I got to tell you, Harris, I mean, the problem is none of these candidates, they don't want Joe Biden to come to their state. I think they take President Obama over Joe Biden because he is so unpopular. This is also the case with Kamala Harris. So they do not want to campaign with the president or the vice president. And I got to say something here. The Democrats, they're playing defense. It's why you have seen these debates be so catastrophic for the Democrats. They don't have a good answer on the COVID lockdowns. They're playing defense on border security because they don't support it. And they're playing defense on energy independence and crime. These are issues that American people care about. Add to that the economy, where you have nearly 1 in 5 Americans who basically are skipping meals or not being able to pay for groceries because of inflation. And the Democrats are going to be blamed for it.
So, Kevin, Pennsylvania is an area that's a toss-up. Biden will be there, Obama and Kamala Harris. Does it matter?
I think it absolutely does. And Harris, to your point, Pennsylvania is an ultimate toss-up. Obviously, President Trump won it by less than a point in 2016, and Joe Biden won it by just over 1% in 2020. So this is the ultimate bellwether. This is an offensive opportunity for Democrats. Let's not forget that this would be a flip. It's Republican held right now. So, of course, we're bringing out all the big guns. Kamala Harris, Joe Biden are going there tomorrow. President Obama is going there next week. John Fetterman had a great event last night with Dave Matthews Band, 3,000 people in Pittsburgh. So this is a must-win opportunity for Democrats.
Yeah, they're doing, there's a group in Pennsylvania that's doing a rally. Kevin just said a difference that these three at the top can make for John Fetterman or anybody.
Look, I really don't think that, again, Biden or Kamala bring anything to the table. Poor Kamala Harris, she can't. She's always making a gaffe, as well as Joe Biden. I think President Obama does have the star power. What bothers me about these Democrats is that many of them refuse to debate the Republicans. We see this with Doug Mastriano and Josh Shapiro. Shapiro's a wimp for not going out there to debate Mastriano. We know that Katie Hobbs is scared of Carrie Lake. And I got to tell you, it just shows how the Democrats have nothing to say. They have no message, and they keep shifting their message because they're losing.
I want to move forward so I can get to this. And you're talking about Doug Mastriano. Former President Trump will be with him and Dr. Oz. That's on his list. We got his list of areas where he's going to for Trump. The president and the press have what you might call a complex relationship. Critics now calling Biden out for apparently making fun of reporters for doing their jobs. Blah, blah, blah. He says, Kevin, that's not right.
Well, listen, compared to the last guy who openly mocked the press corps, the White House press corps, and again, I think it's a bizarre situation that we always find ourselves in, especially with these bilaterals with foreign heads of state in the Oval Office with reporters screaming at them. They screamed at Ronald Reagan about Iran-Contra. They screamed about Donald Trump. They obviously want to get a question in edgewise, and it is a bizarre visual. Mercedes was in the White House and ran those kind of events, and it is kind of a silly, it's a silly thing that the press corps does, yelling at foreign heads of state and the president in the Oval Office.
Kevin, you can't defend this, Kevin. I'm so sorry. President Trump answered question after question from the press corps. And so let's remember, this press corps that was very negative and always trying to take down President Trump. But let me make this very clear. President Biden, he won't even speak to the press. The only person he's talking to is like to a TikTok social media influencer who supports child mutilation.
So he shouldn't answer questions from young adults in this
question?
The
American people deserve
he's taking
to
questions
learn.
after every presidential event this week, Mercy.
No, the American people deserve to learn what President Biden actually thinks, if he can actually answer a basic question from the media court. He won't do it. He won't do it.
I'm going to jump in here. Kevin, I do remind you that President Biden has called one of our own reporters a stupid SOB.
And then he called him to apologize.
And then he's done more.
He's called him to apologize.
He's got a bit of a potty mouth, and he's got a little bit of a sore spot with those who like to ask him questions. All right. Okay. We're going to pull away. Good to see you both.
Thanks, Harris.
You too. The high school football coach